Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. As today, with the Rebels' big guns out of commission, we take some time to pick up the pieces. We've still got a fair bit of salvage lying around, a fair number of corpses to roll. And then I suppose we'll just fill out the rest of the gaps on our map here. As we saw last time around, we've got a couple of groups down below. Not to mention an entire subterranean area to scope out.
Is there money to be made?
So yeah, we'll clear the plaza we're standing on right now, then we'll head down there, I think. But first, let's finish what we started. The anti-aircraft battery's control panel is a panoply of mysterious levers and buttons. Deactivating it quickly is not an option. All you can do is blow it up, destroying it completely. The anti-aircraft battery certainly was constructed a long time ago, long before the colonization of this world began. It comes as no surprise that the insurgents were barely able to operate it. Modern arms protocols are incomprehensible to the machine spirits of such an ancient construction. Sorry, machine spirits. The blast consumes the ancient weapon. The sky above the city is safe for flying again. Oh, what a waste. But had to be done.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
The ruined weapon radiates intense heat, and an oily puddle giving off a caustic stench spreads across the pavement. Not much in the way of loot thus far, but we've still got a fair few corpses scattered.
Keep your wits about you.
Someone had the misfortune of resting here when the first explosions rang out.
I always keep my options open.
And there's our exit to the next area. We'll hold off on that for the moment. Trap. How do we... Ah, I see. All hail Aurora!
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Aurora. All hail Aurora. Broadband hymn casters.
The Emperor favors me today.
Stairs clear. And yeah, we've got steam down there, so we need to hit it from the other side. Environmental hazards are one of the most insidious dangers in this game because of the trauma system. You can't just tank through them.
Let us not dawdle.
Helm of Determination. Requires Iconoclast, also grants plus 2 times Fellowship bonus % armor, and 2 times Iconoclast rank Fellowship. So this thing's effectively restricted to either Valen or Abelard. And obviously Abelard gets much more use out of armor. So we'll toss it to him. Assuming it's a net gain. He has an armored helmet already. Okay, yeah, we'll take it. A net plus 1% armor. And I suppose plus 4 fellowship. I will say, though, the helmet looks a lot better in the icon than it does on his actual head. And then we'll toss his hand-me-down to Pascal. Who, yeah, we'll definitely be dumping those robes once we find something better. The logic scaling just isn't enough to make it worth our while. Sniper gloves. The wearer deals plus 5% damage and gains plus 5% crit chance on single shots and deadeye shots, which means it is literally made for snipers. Which, of course, means it's going right to Valen. And I think that's it for loot. Let's push on. We should have one group of enemies just over here. And then another smaller one we glimpsed on the south side of the map.
I always have a backup plan.
So I think we'll go for the small one first. That'll be a nice little warm-up.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Yeah, there's only like 6 guys over here. Should be quick. Let's burn them down.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Show them no mercy.
They actually survived. Though not for long. That poison damage will drop them on their first action. So once they drop, it's Argenta and Abelard. Plus Cassia's half turn. Yeah, that's good. All right. Cassia's up first. Let's go ahead and trim this guy. Oop. Can't actually target him.
It's as good as done.
But we can see the guy in back.
I'll see to it personally.
So, yeah. We'll go ahead and finish this guy, then the rest of his crew will drop. And then we'll sick Abelard on this guy. Nice. And here we go. Oof. Just completely melting down on the battlefield. You hate to see it. Poor guys. Argenta moves up. Nice tags. Light him up.
That is not the Emperor's will. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Guy on the left is done. And Abby. Let's get you on this one. Minor tag plus damage buff. No room for knockback. Yeah, that's fine. Really got to get Abby a proper two-hander. Well, that's just embarrassing. All right, let's wrap this up.
Anything is?
Going for spillover.
Was that you?
And we're good. Yeah, that was like 3 minutes. Not bad. Let's scoop our loot, secure this entrance. Ooh, pretty. Got some rubble over here. Which nets us.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Officer's Chainsword. And Fortress World Mesh Vest, which can only be used by heretics. A shame, those armor effects would actually be pretty nice on Abby. A powerful explosion destroyed a large part of the bridge, both above and below. Could someone still be alive in there? I'd say signs point towards yes. From your vantage point, it does not seem like this lavish mansion has been damaged by explosions. But you cannot enter. Something is blocking the entrance from the inside. Alright, I think we're clear. Oh, wait. Right, forgot this. Oh, yes, of course. Don't want to forget those shrieking hearts of the heretic. I'll just shove that in my pocket. I'm sure that's fine. Oh, yes, here we go. I mean, obviously we came down here before back in the beta, but things have changed since then. I'm very curious to see what might be different. Rebels, soldiers, and ordinary workers. Everyone perished under the rubble of the ruined bridge and buildings.
I always keep my options open.
Hold off on the door until we clear the room.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
Argenta?
Join me in prayer. Pay attention. See? Right there.
Wow. Okay. Getting tricky here. Layers upon layers of traps.
Nothing escapes my sight.
My goodness. I feel bad for anyone who just blunders through this. Oh gosh, no. Stop. Every one of those traps would be another layer of trauma. That's just mean. And we are good.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Plus bonus level up. Okay. Let's fall back real quick, hit the pause button whilst I check my notes. We'll be right back. And we're back. Thankfully, not much in the way of tweaks or balance shifts this time around. I did notice, though, in going through our sheets, that Pascal is now severely penalized in both Imperium lore and Warp lore. I'm not sure how long that's been like that, possibly since launch. But it did slightly tweak my plans for skill loadouts. Namely, since I hadn't yet settled on a secondary for Valen, we'll go ahead and have him pick up Imperial lore. Oh, right, and then he also gets a bonus to his class ultimate, not a big deal. Given that he'll usually be focused on the toughest guy on the field, we'll go ahead and grab the weapon and ballistic skill debuff. And then next time around, we'll probably go for the Intimidate. Maybe the Immobilize. And then, skills we already talked about, we're going for Lore Imperium as our secondary, with Medical as our tertiary, just to unlock kits. Pascas Tech, Adira's Awareness. We have someone else for Xenos later. I'll worry about reshuffling once we have our permanent party. Let's do our other ops. So Adira up next, and she also gets a modifier on her ult, which really doesn't make a difference because it is not psychic power compatible. So we'll just grab the Intimidate, doesn't matter. And as for skills, she is Awareness and Warp lore now, after the latest round of changes, so we'll go ahead and cap out her Warp lore first, since we really need to shore that up. And then we'll cap out Awareness next time. We'll have one floating point left over, which will probably go into Medicaid. Next, let's do Pascal, who, once again, gets a modifier for dismantling. And in his case, since he'll be directly in the line of fire, again, we'll go for the weapon debuff, with Intimidate as his secondary. And then, skill-wise, we're no longer worried about logic. We're obviously not doing Imperium. So, yeah, we'll just have him start cranking Medicaid. So his current primaries will be Tech Use and Medicaid. We are going to end up with an extra floating point, but not really sure where that's going to go just yet. In the short term, however, now that he has the Medicaid skill, we can actually slot kits. So that brings our total number of healers up to 3. Moving on to the non-ops, we've got Abelard. And he only gets a modifier for Daring Breach, which is pretty straightforward. As our dedicated taunting tank, he will take the one that improves both taunting and tanking. No real question there. Same deal with Argenta. She only gets an alt mod. So we'll take the one that boosts her rate of fire. And Cassia. Again, only an alt mod. And in her case, I kind of waffled a bit, but I think ultimately we'll lead with this one. A 1-turn damage buff plus a full combat stat boost. Pretty tame as far as level ups go, but every little bit helps. On we go. I guess we'll circumvent the door. Looks like we can just walk around.
I always have a backup plan.
These enormous humming transformers must be part of a single and much larger mechanism that supplies power to the whole hive. Neat. I also see another steam shut-off valve over there. Let's go ahead and shut that off. Oh. Sector, Coronis Expanse. Region, Rycad System. Location, streets in the vicinity of the Rycad Minoris starport. Material, report based on oral accounts and pict recordings, added to the archives of House von Valancius by the order of Seneschal Wersurian. On his journey across a world caught in the throes of a heretical insurgency, the Lord Captain accidentally witnessed an unholy rite that transpired in one of the maintenance rooms of an aqueduct. This abandoned nook turned out to be a heretic's gathering place for performing their grim and profane acts. The large group of rebels stood frozen in patient anticipation, all staring into the center of the room. No one moved. Only the murmur of hushed voices echoed against the metal walls. The Lord Captain ran a cursory glance over the room, assessing the situation. The rebels were unremarkable in appearance. They were dressed in the shabby clothes of abject rabble, spoke in coarse voices, and had repulsive faces. But what caught the Lord Captain's attention was the look of strange, almost sinister anticipation in their eyes. This was no gathering of loud blasphemers or bored idlers. Only occasionally would they exchange brief, unintelligible remarks. As they stood in a frozen circle, their gazes turned toward the hulking structure in the center of the room. Bulky power transformers, cogitators, crates, and voxcasters took up most of the space. Against their background, the structure in the center stood out oddly. An enormous lens mounted on a stand. It caught the thin sunbeams that made their way through slits in the ceiling and crossed the half-lit room. The rogue trader surveyed the peculiar structure with great attention. The enormous mounted lens was doubtlessly imbued with the power of the archenemy, inimical to all that is noble and virtuous in the universe. Anyone caught in the corrupted light it emits will face horrifying consequences. Next, the Lord Captain peered into the darkness, enveloping the room. Although barely visible behind the closed ranks of the insurgents, the rusted barrels with evidently flammable contents had not escaped the Lord Captain's keen eye. One good shot at those barrels would decimate the number of heretics on Rycad Minoris. The Lord Captain patiently observed what happened next. As if commanded by a grim, unseen force, the insurgents fell silent at once, and in a single movement, parted. A thick, sticky silence filled the room. The heretics' gazes were drawn toward the metal structure with a lens atop it, standing tall in the middle of a circle of melted candles, piles of books, and unholy symbols drawn on the floor. The structure flashed as a single sunray illuminated it. A sound of bare feet broke the sinister silence as a man emerged from the deep shadows. Reeling, he entered the circle and collapsed on his knees in front of the enormous lens. Not a second had passed before many rebel hands gripped the fallen man's shoulders and hair. "Remember, comrade, the last sunray you behold will be yours only, shared with no one else. Your holy, final dawn!" bellowed a lone heretic's voice amid the silent crowd. By the doing of someone's hands, the lens had turned, and its focused ray feasted on the prisoner's eyes. I'm glad we just sat here and watched this happen. The blinded man's harrowing screams shook the very walls of the place. Consumed by the rite, the rebels had not yet noticed the stranger in their midst. The Lord Captain braced himself and blew up the fuel barrels, thinning the heretics' ranks. Oh my, that is quite a sprint. This pain is meaningless.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
Your Emperor won't save you!
My comrades' deaths will not stop the rise of the new sun! No one can stop the future! The sun will die! Aurora's prophecy will come to pass! Okie dokie. Alright, let's kill these guys. Mayhaps Aurora's plans will still come to pass, but they won't be around to enjoy it. Also, let's be very wary of that jet of steam right in the middle of the field. We may have come at this from the most awkward angle possible. So if we bring Abelard around the side, he can distract. We'll rain fire down the middle. Hopefully get that steam shut off by turn 2. Who we got right next to us? Oh, fire starter. Okay, yeah, that's got to be priority. Let's get Abby in there.
Victory is imminent.
Nice hit. Damage buff applied. Reposition. Make sure we're ready to leapfrog. Go for a knockdown. Oh, wow. Okay, that works. And charge. Lovely. Armor up.
At your beck and call.
Okay, so that's their leader. He's got a Psyker Staff. Second fire starter in back. Oh, right, steam. We need to get the steam off. Argenta. We can have Argenta do that. Yeah, Pask can't reach the valve, so we'll just have him start laying down fire support. Not too worried about that guy. Let's start trimming gunners. We'll go for tactical knowledge first. Oh, scratch that. Doesn't actually reach. Nice. I mean, could have been better, but we'll take it. And hold. Cultists on the move. No tags. Valen is back up. Okay, so no one of consequence going before our next cluster. So can we get LOS on their leader? No. They seem to have very deliberately positioned the cover to prevent that. Alright, we'll just go ahead and trim this guy. Massive overkill, but might as well get it off our plate.
You never stood a chance.
Some more!
Minor ding on Abby.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Nothing to worry about just yet. Armor's doing its job. Argenta, let's blow off that steam. Then we'll have her push up on the left behind Abby. Go for that guy on the flank. Perfect. Oh, shoot. Ended too early. She had bonus MP. I could have tucked into cover. Not a great idea, but let's push up behind this. We just really need to start whittling the leader.
I know what is to come.
This might blow up in my face, but calculated risk, etc., etc. Yeah, not bad. Modest damage plus poison. We'll take it. Cass is up. Could go for another shout. Actually, no. Let's get Abby closer. Yeah, that'll make it less likely they blow up Adira. Not quite enough, but I can work with that. Plus, it gets Abby under half cover. Oh, also, we can just do this. Nice. Notch one up. Oh, okay. Here we go. Blue horrors on the field and a whole lot of party chatter. By the throne! I have seen much in my time, but what is that abomination? Begone! You do not belong in real space! I should not be able to see you! Not with these eyes! It speaks to me. It's in my head! No! Shut up! Yeah, that's probably fine. I mean, come on, it's just blue horrors. That's like the mooks of the demon world. Though that doesn't mean that caution isn't warranted. Abby, use the force! Nice. Oh, man. Oh, this one's still standing, though. I was really hoping we could run for the leader, but slight change of plans. Light tag. Damage buff applied. Task moving up. Oh, right. Watch the steam. We're going to lay down some more fire. There we go. That's a +8 on damage. Oh, right. Fire starter. Ah, so close. Minor ding. Let's get Valen back under cover. Oh, perfect. We've got direct line of sight on the leader. Let's finish him off. Save Abby the trouble.
Who if not me?
He was right. That was his final dawn. Minor bink bonks on Abby, but he's still holding strong. Aside from the debuff. Let's get some use out of that flensing talent. Actually, can we get close enough? No, I don't think we can. Okay, well, don't shoot Abby. We'll just kind of pop some shots around the fringe. Maybe we'll blow up that cover. Hey, nice. Except for the part where you blew yourself up, but... No harm done, I suppose. Oh, wait. Okay. Not sure why you lit up now, but I'm not going to question it. Let's lay down fire.
This is why I was chosen.
Well, you're not wrong there, Igenta. That is indeed why you were chosen for that specific task. Adira moving up. We'll just thin these guys out. Nice. Oh, hey. Blew one away. Should we go for another lightning? No, that would tag Abby. Let's go shout. Shout plus spillover.
Will do.
Yeah, that'll do.
I'll show you why navigators are feared.
All right, Abby. You got this, bud.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. One fewer target.
Oh, close. That's cool. He can soak some fire. Oh. Well, that also works. Okay, let's wrap this up.
My place is at the fore. Indeed.
Oh, boo. But fine. Pask. Oh, right, we still have this guy over here, too. Oh, forget that. Valin's got it.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
You're fine, bud. It didn't even break the skin. Overkill. Oh, we actually kept this thing intact. I've never done that before. Yeah, wasn't that supposed to bring the leader back to life? Your eye is drawn to the peculiar device. At first you are vexed by worries of some pernicious influence, but the real reason soon becomes apparent. The glass installed in the device shimmers in a unique way. Just the same way as the shards of the unknown broken object you found near Theodora von Valancius's desk. What's the matter, Lord Captain? Why are you so interested in... Abelard trails off when he notices what you are looking at. He instantly makes the connection. By the Imperium Saints! It cannot be! Adira bites her lip. I see it too. Whatever that thing in her study was, it was made from the same material as this junk. What? What? Abelard is at a loss for words. He takes a moment to collect himself, and all at once they start pouring out in a hasty sputter. It's a mistake. Slander meant to blemish the good name of a person who is now dead and cannot even defend herself. First, those minions of the archenemy murdered Lord Captain Theodora, and now... This cannot be tolerated. It will not be tolerated. Come on now, Abelard. Remember what she was like. Adira's smile betrays grief, but at the same time, it's strangely knowing. Brazen, assertive, it was like her entire life was a race against fate until fate caught up with her in the end. She would have gone headfirst into a black hole if she had thought it would put her even one step ahead of everyone else out in the expanse. If we could just find out what she was keeping in her desk and why she went to get it during the attack. Sister Argenta's beautiful face is full of grief. How bitter it is to know that you were born from bad blood. But do not let this knowledge drag you into darkness. The sister's words ring with a genuine, sincere hope that you be blessed with a worthier fate. She does not appear to be shocked by the news of Theodora's possible heresy. Life must be so easy for you sanctimonious preachers. A dubious trinket and you no longer see a person. You see bad blood. An annoying hindrance. There is enough venom in Adira's voice to poison an entire regiment. Argenta recoils, but the next moment her dark eyes ignite with fury. How dare you admonish me? We are speaking of abetting the archenemy. A person who has tainted themselves thus can never justify their actions. Sure, why go through all the trouble of trying to make sense of anything when you can just label them a heretic and call it a day? Except, dear friend, I seem to remember that you didn't mind Theodora so much while you were aboard the ship. You didn't leave her side for even a moment. She rescued you, aided you, and your adoration wilted the moment you heard an accusation sullying her memory. You weren't surprised or upset. You just gave up on her and moved on. I mean, Adira does make a point. Enough, you two. There are too many unknowns. We can't just jump to conclusions. Valin, don't be naive. Theodora kept an unsanctioned witch by her side like a pet. Do you really believe she would think twice about crossing the line in other ways? I mean, Argenta, I also have Adira at my side, so... Well, I mean... You know what, we'll just stick a pin in this. I don't suppose we can take this thing with us for further study, can we? The ritual site is covered in ominous, heretical symbols, each of which is unmistakably emanating the malevolent power of the warp. The heretics use the aberrant powers of this lens to ruin the eyes of the most devout followers of their cult. Oh, okay, so that... I guess that does make me feel better about the guy who got blinded and blew apart. Warmonger Boots. Whenever the wearer kills 2 or more enemies with a single attack, the attack doesn't spend all of the wearer's MP. Ooh, well that's pretty much perfect for Adira. She's the only one of us, I think, who could reliably kill more than one target around anyway. At least until Cassie is a little farther along. Staff's not an upgrade, so that's just cargo. Still, boots are nice. Yeah, it has to be single attack, so that's definitely Adira. And we also pulled a lore object. Let's give that a gander. Message from the cache on Rykad Minoris. A harbinger reports. Brother Twilight and his people were unsuccessful. A dangerous enemy, Valen von Valancius, spoiled his plans. The duty is now upon us, Aurora's followers, to succeed where Twilight failed. Oh yeah? And, how'd that work out for you? Not great? Alright, well, don't let it get you down. There's always next time. Let me go ahead and shut off that steam before I forget about it. And of course we've got a bunch of other stuff scattered around the room, but we're also at time, so I feel like this is a good place to call it. Not bad, not bad. We got into the Undercroft, we cleared out a nest of cultists, we found what appears to be a big clue as to Theodora's activities. Not to mention whatever, of course, Aurora and her followers are attempting to accomplish. And we salvaged this thing, though I'm not sure we can actually do anything with it. Maybe it'll come back up later. That said, we'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take care of the usual off-screen bookkeeping, and we will pick up here next time as we finish exploring the Undercroft and then push on. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Revenant, Alois, CrowkingLoR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, V23, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you can even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.